Hello, Algebra 2 Honors. Today, we'll be going over Chapter 9.3, which is the law of cosines. There are two cases for the law of cosines, one being side-angle side, and the other being side-side-side. So with that, there's also three equations. Note how the first one's kind of close to the Pythagorean theorem, which just shows you how we're going to be dealing with triangles here. So the first equation is c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cos c. The second equation is b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b. And the third equation is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. So now we're going to move on to our first example here. So in the first example, we're given side A, which is 2, side C, which is 1, and angle B, which is 10 degrees. So from that information, we know that this is a side-angle side case. And we also know that we need to use a second equation because we're given angle B. So, since we need to find B. So to start off, you just want to plug in all the variables. And once you plug in all the variables, you'll see that it's 2 squared plus 1 squared minus 2 times 2 times 1 times cos 10. And then once you plug all of that in, you'll see that it's 4 plus 1 minus 4 cos 10. And then once you add those together, you'll get 5 minus 4 cos 10. So 5 minus 4 cos 10 equals 1.06, etc. And you want to make sure you don't round that, because if you round that, then your answer will be wrong. And since the b squared, you can't leave it as b squared, you have to make sure you square your answer, and you'll find that side b equals 1.03. So now we need to find angle C. So we know that angle B is 10 degrees. So to find angle C, we will be using the law of sines here. And the law of sines would state that sine 10 degrees equals sine C, and then their sine measures under them. So to simplify this and get an answer out of this, you want to cross multiply and divide them. And once you do that, you'll see that the answer is 0.168, etc. But we need to find the angle measure. So we want to find the arc sine of sin C. And that would mean that, and once you do that and plug that in your calculator, you'll find that C equals 9.7 degrees. And then to find angle A, you don't have to do it that same way. You can just do a much simpler way and just add angle B and C, subtract it from 180, and you'll find that angle A is 160.3 degrees. So now we'll go on to our next example, and that is a side example. So we could just go in alphabetical order for this one, and we could find a squared first. So a is 4 and b is 3 and c equals 6. So the first thing you want to do is just plug in all those variables into the equation, and you'll see that it all adds up to 16 equals 9 plus 36 minus 36 times cos A. So then you want to add 9 plus 36, and you'll see that 16 equals 45 minus 36 cos A. And then you subtract 45 to the other side to isolate the cos A, and you'll see that negative 29 equals negative 36 cos A. So then you want to divide the negative 36 to the negative 29, and then you get 29 over 36 equals cos arc sine A, because you need to find the angle measure. So the cos arc sine of 29 over 36 equals 36.3 degrees. So that's the measure of angle A. So now we could just find angle B, and to find angle B, we could just use we have to use the law of sines. So we put angle A there, which is sine 36.3 over 4 equals sine B over 3. So once you cross multiply and divide them, you'll see that's 3 sine 36.3 over 4. And to find that angle measure, you want to do the arc sine of the arc sine of B, and you'll find that B equals 26.4 degrees. So like last time, you could do the law of sines again if you want to, but it's just much easier just to add angles A and angles B together and subtract it from 180. So once you do that, 180 minus 62.7, you'll see that C equals 117.3 degrees. So this lesson's not too much different than law of sines, and it's just another way to find the angle measures of a triangle.